There's an awful lot going on at the farm right now. With all this stuff going on with Camp Snoopy, I figured we could head over there and we'll do an episode that's just kind of focused on maybe the past, the present, and what we now know is the inevitable future of that land. So let's head through the turnstiles, get into the farm, and pay homage to the very first land dedicated to the kids that can't ride the crazy rides. Now, some people know this already, but not everybody does. But back in the day, before Knott's really had an identity, they commissioned the work of illustrator Pete Winters to help create a mascot for the park itself. And he came up with this character Whittles that Knott's was trying to use. Whittles was an old prospector. He kind of fit the park's vibe very well. However, when they created the costume for Whittles, he actually was scaring kids. His head was kind of wonky. He actually had like a weird, it was a weird in-between of cartoon and realism that just didn't really work out. So Knott's ditched that idea for the time being. They went to the Boysenbears. They tried them, and those never took either. So Mary and Knott actually went and got some advice from an Imagineer over at the Mouse House down southeast. And he told them that the park needed somebody that was recognizable, that could help bring an outside perspective of the park rather than having the park create that character. Who was more recognizable in the 1980s than Snoopy and the Peanuts Gang? Something else that a lot of people might not know is that the groundwork for getting Camp Snoopy in 1983 was laid quite a few years before that, when Knott's spoke to Charles Schulz about a Snoopy on Ice show at the Walter Knott Theater. And because they allowed his daughter Jill to be the first Snoopy for quite a few years, that kind of opened the floodgates and allowed Knott's to kind of sneak in and grab the licensing to the Peanuts Gang before anybody else could. And this was also probably at the height of Peanuts' popularity, which really, really helped Knott's to kind of expand their brand. So in this part of the park, it originally housed the cable cars that took people from, it was like from the parking lot, and it would bring people to this area around the, ironically, the loop was around the back of the Peanut store. So when they brought this land in, there were still a few rides that are here today as we speak, but not for the future. Some of those were the Huff and Puff, the Ferris wheel, the Grand Sierra Railroad, and the balloon race. And then, of course, throughout the years, they would bring in bigger and better attractions, take some stuff out. Although it's crazy to think that some of these rides made it 40 years. This land is still one of 4 Camp Snoopys throughout the country. I think there's one in Carowinds, Michigan's Adventure here, and then at Cedar Point. And then they're going to be building a new one at Kings Island next year. So 2024 is going to be the year of Camp Snoopy. So to my knowledge, I believe the last rides that were built in this park were in 2014, which was Linus Launchers, Kite Flyer. I'm pretty sure there's another one. I don't really remember which one it was though. Maybe it was the River Run or something. Either way, something kind of funny. I just randomly looked up the Wikipedia page for Camp Snoopy, and it's already got all the rides updated on that page there. So it's got Sally's Happy Swing, Beagle Express, and Snoopy's Tender Paw Twister. So that was fast work. People are very excited about this. But I think what I might actually be most excited for, not any of the rides or anything, is the renovations that they're doing to Snoopy Falls, which is the new meet and greet down there by the waterfalls themselves. And here's something you don't see every day either, which is Snoopy having inner dialogue. Quick little side note, this goes for most places in Knott's, but especially Camp Snoopy. If you get here in the morning, they wash the ground, and it takes a little while because it's early for that water to evaporate. If you don't have sticky shoes, be prepared to ice skate your way through this part of the park. Nobody said they were going to be making any changes inside the Wilderness Creek restaurant. It doesn't really need any new theming. It's already got very much a great camp theme. Maybe they can do a little bit more to just implement the Peanuts Gang into the theme that it already has. Obviously, it's very much a camping lodge, but there are no mentions of Snoopy or Charlie Brown anywhere in here. With the new changes to Camp Snoopy, I'm not sure if anybody was told what they're going to be doing with the old meet and greet spot, what they may end up putting here. Since we already know the locations of Beagle Express, the Happy Swing, the Tender Paw Twister, and the Jeep, but this isn't going to be used anymore for anything. Maybe expansion of the theater? I don't know. Oh man, they're bringing out the excavators. They just tore out the sound booth, so I was wrong there with thinking that they were going to keep that. And they got walls taken out all the way over to where the Chilling Chambers is now. So the truss is gone, the walls are out, the stage is probably gone too. I'll try to sneak over there and see what's going on that side. This looks like where they're going to be spending most of their attention first is the stage, which I'm okay with. It seems like it might be one of the bigger undertakings because they're redoing the entire vibe of this whole section. So airmail is gone. Maybe they put airmail over where the meet and greet is. But there's what it looks like as of now. Everything is gone. It's a barren wasteland back there. Oh, but I can see into the Chilling Chambers. So yeah, the demo process is probably the quickest and easiest process to get through. I'm wondering if they're going to take that little planter out too. Probably. They're probably just going to level this whole place, start from scratch. Very excited to see this final product. And then of course the big topic of speculation is the updated theme to Beagle Express, the new train ride that's going to go here. Are they going to add new track, or is this bridge here just going to be a new covered scene? I'm kind of hoping... Thank you, Jaguar. Thank you for that. I'm kind of hoping maybe they add a little bit, just a little bit more to this part. They don't even need to add more track to this ride. The ride's long enough as is. Just add a little bit more to it and improve on what you already have. It was told to me that because they're going from steam to electric trains, that they're going to have to change the rail size because electric trains, I guess, are smaller or bigger or something like that. I don't know. I don't ever claim to be smart, guys. But if they do have to change the whole track, then maybe that does mean that they change the whole layout. Jaguar, I swear, is the loudest ride. But I'm excited to see if they make this whole bridge here a covered bridge and maybe put some new animatronics inside of it. Maybe house a whole final scene right here before you head back to the station. I think that in itself would be enough of an improvement to please guests. That's just me. I mean, they've already got track here for where they house the cars when they're not using them. Maybe this is what they mean. They're going to expand along here, keep this going, and maybe run it either underneath Montezuma or around Montezuma. Either way, I think this might be a cool little spot for an addition. I don't know how they'd get back from here. That's for Knott's to figure out. And I know that they're changing the front of this land with the sign and stuff that's going over there, but I kind of hope that they don't really change the theming of this store too much. I love the theming of this store with the Peanuts characters in the windows and stuff, the little clock ticking, and that's where the music first hits you when you walk into the land. So I don't know if they're going to be doing anything to the store. But the bottom line here is Camp Snoopy is pretty much the first of its kind. In my opinion, it's probably the best of its kind. And the fact that it's getting this kind of a makeover in 2024 says that Knott's really appreciates the value that it adds to the park. Now, I thought it was going to be moved completely to a separate section. That's just me. I have very high ambitions, but that's not something that needed to happen. That's just something I thought would have been cool. And it obviously wouldn't have happened in 2024 if that was the case. Either way, looking forward to more in 2024. The complete revamp and reskin of Camp Snoopy has a lot of people very excited, including myself. And if it's anything like how they reskinned Fiesta Village and are adding 3 new rides, this may indeed be one of the most significant changes that this park has made in recent history. Thank you, Knott's, for giving this to us. It was indeed a very nice Merry Christmas gift. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a Snoopy cookie and cake balls to eat. Catch you on the flippity flop.